Welcome back to the Minnesota Vikings Madden 22 franchise. We are here in Week 10 in New York as we'll be taking on the New York Giants. And it's more than just another game against another opponent. This is a big game, not in the manner of which they typically are, with there's a tough competition between the two teams. Giants haven't really done all too well this year, but we're facing off against formerly fired head coach Mike Zimmer. And obviously we've had an up and down season a little bit in terms of some of the play, but our record has still been pretty good, 8-1 on the season. We definitely want to continue that. And that will start here on offense as Saunders takes the field. Vikings in the power formation, and we definitely want to get a great offensive game here against Mike Zimmer, as he is supposedly the defensive guru here, always supposed to put together a really good defense, although we haven't seen that here in Minnesota in quite a while. Unfortunately missed the deep pass there to Flanagan, which brings up a 3rd and 9. Definitely don't want to have a quick 3 and out here to start the game. Seeing Saunders make a few adjustments here. He's going to roll out. He's going to find Jefferson, who gets the first down. A nice slant route rolled out to find him in the opening between the linebacker and the corner. But yeah, there's a lot on the lines here in terms of bragging rights, as it kind of seems as more time goes by that the dismissal of your former head coach Mike Zimmer, as we get a nice pass off there to Ham, was not a very pleasant or mutual one. There's been a lot of salt, you could say, coming from both Mike Zimmer and our former GM. They do throw a flag on that play. Not sure if that's going to be intentional grounding or roughing the passer, and they're going to get us on intentional grounding. I thought I was outside the pocket on that one. But yeah, we definitely do not want to lose our first game going back up against our former head coach. Like I said, it hasn't been the easiest of, as there's a nice hit, I think that was Peppers on Jefferson. But yeah, no, it definitely hasn't been the nicest of transitions for sure. There's been a lot coming out since the firing as we tried to go deep there to Chark. It was close. It was in tight coverage. Unfortunately, we do not get that in there, and on 4th and 20 there's no way that we're going for it, so we will unfortunately have to punt on our first possession, which is only the second time we've had to do it this entire year. And we get a nice punt down at the 5 there by Dantzler. We'll see what the defense can do here against a young quarterback and a new head coach. Of course, they still have Saquon Barkley, but their new quarterback Alfonso Hamilton off to a hot start here. 2,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We want to make that number go up a little bit here in this game. And of course, I have the Giants in their throwback uniforms. These are my favorite sets for the Giants. We're wearing the almost whiteout. We don't have a white helmet, but we will get the tackle there on first down. A gain of 6 to Saquon Barkley. And also, I don't know if you noticed in pregame warm-ups, but Michael Pierce is back in the lineup today. The doctors have cleared him, and he is good to go. They're going to go for an outside run here, but Brian Poole is there to get the tackle in the backfield. And on 3rd and 6, the Giants will come out in a tight bunch formation here. Staying in a base defense for us, we'll stick to a cover 3 here. They go for the out route, and that is a completion. I believe that's to Evan Ingram, still on the team. And those short little dink and dunk passes have been the bane of existence for the Vikings defense this year. Really struggling to get any pass breakups or interceptions down low, but we do get a decent run stuff on first down. Only a gain of 3. We have forced some turnovers across the middle, but nothing on the outside, as they are going to have Alfonso scramble. Eric Kendricks there to get the hit on him. Only a gain of 3. And with this being a 3rd and short, you know what we're doing. And unfortunately, Mike Zimmer might also know what we're doing. We're going to bring the house here. Going to bring the blitz. And we do get the pass breakup. Again, that is Brian Poole. And with that pass breakup, both teams will be punting on their first possession of this game. About 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Got Nwangwu back to return this kick. Not a great blocking up front. Not going to gain much on this return. We try to stretch it, see if we could do anything, but nothing really there. To start this drive, we'll come out in our 4 receiver set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Looks like we're going to set up a screen here to Dalvin. There was maybe one person on that side. If the line blocked, that would have been free open grass for Dalvin to run, but the linebacker makes a nice play, breaks that up. And stay out in the same formation here, trying to spread the defense a little bit. And overthrew a little bit to Olabisi Johnson on that route. Haven't seen much of Olabisi this year, and that might be the reason there. Just not a good connection between him and Saunders. We are going to check it underneath here. Jefferson gets close to the line of game, but probably about 2 to 3 yards short. Coming out here on 4th down, we will go for it. No reason not to. We have a good lead in our division, and this is a kind of a little bit of a rivalry game as we're taking on a former head coach. And Nwangwu makes the important man miss, gets 4 yards and the first down. Really haven't seen much of Nwangwu this year in the form of a typical running back, kind of using him a little bit more as a Cordero Patterson type player, as we are going to find Flanagan. He is hit by Jackson, but he holds on to the pass. Continue here in our 2 tight end set. So far a little bit more passing than running in this game, and we are going to pass here again, and they find Jefferson on the sideline. They say he drug his feet. Nice catch by Justin Jefferson, who we may or may not have actually been throwing to on that play. And to start the second quarter, we're going to come out here in our strong formation, and we're going to see if we can make this a little bit more favorable for us. Going to send Thielen out to a little bit closer to the sideline. Sorry, to see if we could stretch the team a little bit more. Dalvin gets past one guy, but not the second, brought down by Jackson. Going to stay out in that same formation on a 2nd and 7. And they have Jefferson open underneath again. Going to try, doesn't really try to make the guy miss. Jackson so far has a lot of tackles for the corners in this game. But honestly, we played a lot more on the boundaries rather than down the middle in this game, and we are going to get the easy score there. Great blocking up front. Dalvin in, followed the blocks, ran through a guy, and we are in as we're going to play a little bit of some hop something. I honestly forgot the name of this game. I am not a kid anymore. And I'm just going to jump into this field goal because did you see the blocking by Jefferson on that last play as we extend our lead here? 7-zip. Well, kind of extend. For the Vikings extend because you never know if the kicks are going to go through. And with that last touchdown there by Dalvin, gets him 11 on the year. And also us, the first ones on the board in this game. They're going to continue running the rock here. Going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley. Kind of in the middle, around the tackle spot. And we get the tackle after a 4-yard gain. Make a slight adjustment here. They are going to hand it off to the outside. McCourty was there. Couldn't get the tackle, but Daniil will go ahead and wrap him up for a gain of maybe 2 on that play. And that will bring up a 3rd and 4 here. Vikings out in their double A gap look. Looks like we're going to bring some pressure off the edge here to Dantzler, but he is not a very good block shedder. Easily picked up there by the tackle, and they get the completion out to Slayton for about gain of a good chunk. Give him a first down at the 42. Vikings now come out here in a nickel form. They had 2 receivers to the left, and kind of Dantzler froze there a little bit. He was in a good spot, but didn't have the awareness to actually get his hands up and try to block that pass or knock it down or tip it, something. But they will get the first down there. Looks like Saquon Barkley is a little bit tired right now. Hopefully they pass the ball to him and we can force a turnover. But they're going to go out to the outside. Harrison Smith on the tackle. But that is a first down there for the run by Hamilton. Now they're bringing out the big set here. 3 tight ends. Would assume it's going to be a run to Barkley, and it is. But the hitman is in the backfield to get the good hit on him, knock him down, gain of 4 on that first down run. Now, obviously, in the last couple games, Harrison Smith has been an integral part of the defense, especially in the linebacker position that we moved him to. And I was just kind of thinking about future purposes of what we're going to do, because we're definitely going to need to work on the cornerback position, and we talked about that a bit at the end of last episode, talking about the lack of depth that the team really has. And I kind of had a thought of maybe putting him in at the slot cornerback spot next year if we're able to find a young linebacker that we want to get some experience out there, as we do get the stop just before the first down on that third down play. Again, Harrison Smith making plays in that linebacker spot. And it looks like the Giants are also going to go for it here. Not very Mike Zimmer-like here, but we'll see what we're able to do, as they are going to hand it off down the middle, and Harrison Smith wanted nothing to do with it there, as former Viking, current Giant Kyle Rudolph gets up a little shaken up on that play. But yeah, I'm curious on what you all think about possibly moving Harrison Smith to that slot cornerback spot. Granted, we would still need to find a young linebacker that we would want to take his place, which doesn't look all too likely, at least with the current depth at linebacker across the NFL. Giants do get a nice chunk there on first down, a gain of 8 on that pass. We'll bring up a 2nd and 2. They have a bunch to the left. Looks like they're setting up a screen to Barkley, who gets about 4 yards on the play at first down. One of the most unlucky spots for a first and goal, about basically at the 10-yard line. They break the tackle. I believe that was Joyner that was shaken off. We do, however, have Verrett get the tackle before they get into the end zone. And the easy, quick slant there to number 3, Shepard. Or not the Vikings, Giants in on that. Going to tie this game up 7-7 with about a minute left before halftime. And following that Giants touchdown drive, we will take the field here at the 28-yard line. Had a decent return by Nwangwu. We'll see if we could do anything before half. We do get a nice pass and tight coverage. Squeezes that ball right between Martinez and 29. I can't remember, McKinney maybe? To Justin Jefferson as a nice big chunk play to get us down to around midfield. And in typical fashion, we do not take the early timeout yet. Going to save those, hopefully get closer to the end zone before making any decisions. That pass kind of thrown a bit too far inside. Thielen almost comes back to get it. But that pass definitely want to see more on the outside. Make a slight adjustment here. And check that down to Flanagan, who doesn't really get a lot. About 30 seconds left, and we still have a bit of space to go here. About 10 seconds left. Of course, we still have all of our timeouts. They're going to chuck the ball downfield to Chark, who gets the catch. Quick timeout. Again, another deep pass to Chark that doesn't go for a touchdown, but gets us into field goal range. And with only 3 seconds left, we'll send the field goal team out there. If we had maybe 5 seconds, we would take a shot towards the end zone. But with 3 seconds, we'll take the chip shot field goal. Send us into halftime up 10-7. Take a quick look here at the stats, and we're beating them in the passing game, almost double the yards, but have next to no rushing. Definitely want to add some of that in during the second half as we take a look at some of the scores across the league. Patriots and Bengals, Super Bowl bound Bengals up 21-14, about 7 seconds left before halftime. They are also 8-1 on the season. Taking a look down south, Saints and the Falcons. A 28-0 game, 15 seconds left before halftime. I also kind of want to do a bit of a Saints franchise in the future, especially with the head coach, Sean Payton, now calling it Dunzo with the cap as awful as it is. Another team that needs a lot of help, the Texans, currently up in this game 21-17. Deshaun Watson, only 8 passes in the first half, does have a touchdown on those. But let's get focused back into the real game at hand here. The most important game this game, Vikings-Giants. To start the second half, the Giants will receive the kick. They're currently down 10-7, and the game has honestly been pretty tied, very even here. So we'll see what anything new is brought in the second half, or it's just going to be a bit of the same. Of course, we know Mike Zimmer, not known to really make any adjustments at all, kind of just play the same game throughout, and has really been to his detriment many of times, and for us Vikings fans, to our detriment. However, they do get a nice gain of 8 there on first down. will make an adjustment here as they came out in a 2-receiver set. They only get about a gain of 3, but that is more than enough to get the first down. We take a quick look here up front, and it looks like their offensive line has the upper hand, I guess you could say, on our defensive line as they get a nice run there. Michael Pierce tried to hurdle a man and ended up costing him a tackle. Saquon Barkley still going. Technically, I wouldn't say we ever tackled him, but we do at least force him out of bounds after a big gain. Coming out here again in a 2-receiver set. Vikings going to bring a bit of a zone blitz here, try to force something, and we do get him in the backfield. That is Anthony Barr in the back, kind of. Maybe loss of a few inches on that play, but he's going to break dance nonetheless. And following what might be a loss, kind of just back to the line of scrimmage, they're going to come out with a bunch to the right, going to set up a pass here. It looks like the quarterback's going to run. We get another big hit on him, Eric Kendricks. Quarterback holds on to the ball. So far, haven't seen a sack fumble or just a quarterback hit fumble. We've had quite a few of those the past couple games, especially thanks to Harrison Hitman Smith. And there's Danielle Hunter in again on the sack, his first of the day, but I believe close to 20 on the season. 22 to be exact. And with that sack, we might have knocked him out of field goal range. They're going to send the punter out here. We got Nwangu back at about the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to try to caddy corner this. That goes out at the 15, and your Vikings will take over for their first possession in the second half. And of course, as we said before half, or as we went into half, there really hasn't been much running in the game. We definitely want to add a bit of that. We can get the handoff here to Dalvin. He goes to the outside, breaks one tackle, but not much. Switch it up a little bit here. Come out with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We're going to do a draw play here. See if we can spread out that defensive line, spread out the front 7. Dalvin with the first down on, I believe, one of his longest rushes on the day. And one of their linemen, Williams, a bit shaken up on the play. He's going to come out. Going to stay in that same formation as it seemed to help out a little bit on that last play with one of the longest runs for Dalvin on the night. Set up a play action here. We're going to go deep, but that was thrown right to the corner. Definitely wanted that placed a little bit deeper rather than kind of horizontal, and that is picked off by Bradbury. Definitely don't want to test him. If if Saunders threw that a little bit more vertically rather than horizontally, we might have had a big chunk there. But throwing on the run to the left, ball floats to the left, and we know Chark doesn't always go up for those contested passes. That was definitely not the possession we wanted to have to start this second half. We definitely wanted to extend the lead, but we'll see if our defense can help us out here. As Harrison Smith was in the right hole, but again, just doesn't go for the tackle. Barkley runs for a big gain, 12 rushes on the day, 62 yards, averaging about 5.1 yards a carry. And this was a defense 2 weeks ago that went up against Ezekiel Elliott and really stopped him completely. But this game, not doing too well. We do get the tackle in the backfield there by Danielle. Danielle loves to live in the backfield, and we do get a loss of 2 on that first down run. Of course, one thing to consider with us moving Harrison Smith to linebackers that we don't really have the option to bring much of a safety blitz. None of our guys are really good at that, as that was a great play by Galladay. Instead of waiting for the pass where he was, take that step back and follow it, as there wasn't much of a press coverage on him. Gets the first down on that pass. Come out here with another run, and there's Harrison Smith. Big hit. Finally decided to get the tackle. I guess he's been loading up the past couple for that one hit. And unfortunately, we do not knock the ball out there on that hit, but it does look like we knocked Saquon Barkley out for at least this next play. So Harrison Smith is going to follow Hamilton. Gets the big hit again, but again, no fumble. This Giants team doing a really good job of securing the ball. Definitely had multiple opportunities this game to at least knock a ball loose, fumble or something. And there's another option. Bounces around, but will not land in any of the Vikings' hands. It even hit Michael Pierce, and that would have been a great comeback for him to get an interception on his first game back. But with that field goal here, the game is now tied up 10-10. And following that kickoff, Nwangwu sets us up to start our drive here at the 29-yard line. We will be headed into the fourth quarter during this drive. We get a nice run here from Dalvin to the outside, gets a nice chunk, gets us on the other side of the 50, and we will start there at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And as this first quarter starts here, I believe I said earlier, gets us to the other side of the 50. We're definitely still not on that side of the 50 yet, but with this run to Dalvin, gain of about 11, we are finally on the other side of the 50. And the plan for this fourth quarter is to feed Dalvin, probably sprinkle in a little bit of Alexander in there as well. Just keep pounding the rock here, drain the clock, make sure we end this drive in a touchdown. With that, there probably wouldn't be much time left for the Giants to come back and tie the game up. Again, we're going to hand it off to Dalvin. Gets about a gain of 4 on that play. And on third down here, 3rd and 1, we're going to come out in our strong formation. 2 receivers to the left. We're going to bring in Madison just to make the team think we're going to him. We're going to hand it off to Ham, who gets the first down. Always need to sprinkle in a little fullback love during the games. And with that first down, we're going to go ahead and switch on to chew the clock. Again, we don't want to leave the Giants with too much time. Hand it off here to Madison. Get a gain of a couple, but that's about all we need. We're switching over to a little dink and dunk here. Get a little bit here, a little bit there. Drain the clock in this game. Let's get another victory. So we get about maybe 4 or so yards on that play. And on 3rd and 5, we'll come out spread a little bit here. Doesn't look like they really go for Osborne, but let's hope that Osborne can get a nice block on somebody. He kind of does. Enough space for Dalvin to get the first down. We'll continue to chew this clock. And you always hear me talking about how good these tight ends can block, so let's bring them out here on first down. Run right behind them again. Fortunately, not too much there. They were caught up more on the inside, and we, unfortunately, are going to lose one of those tight ends. Lucas, the late round tight end pick, comes up a little shaken up on that play. And following that play, we had to take a little bit of time as Lucas went to the locker room to check out what was wrong. Looked like he was holding his wrist. As on 2nd down here, we get about a gain of 2. And there's the update. He was holding his wrist, but it's actually a bruised sternum, so he'll be out for the remainder of this game. And on 3rd and 6, we're going to change it up a little bit. Going to go for a pass here. Going to set Dalvin to run a bit of a wheel route. See if anyone kind of loses track of him. Fortunately, no one does. We're going to try to scramble here. Flanagan gets a good block. We turn up the field. Saunders does take a big hit, but we're down to the 2. We definitely need to avoid Saunders getting hit like that as often as we can, but we needed that first down, and he got it for us. We're going to try to run into the end zone. Fortunately, this time, Dalvin not able to stretch across, but that will take us into the 2-minute warning. You know, we checked the Giants line earlier. Let's check ours. Looks like we have a strong right side, but technically the centers, our actual center, Bradbury and Smith, not with the green there, but we'll follow that right guard, and they say we're in, and we will take it, putting us up in this game 17-10, just under 2 minutes left to play. And we were able to drain quite a bit of time off the clock here in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, the Giants still have 2 minutes left to get down the field and make a play, and we've seen teams do that left and right, and they're going to do it here with a big chunk, gain of 28 or so to Barkley on that first down pass. Looks like there's a bit of confusion on the coverage there. Gets about another gain of 8, maybe 9 on that first there. Yeah, about, they're going to say closer to 10. They get out of bounds. And they're just strolling easy here, but we are getting close to a minute left in this game. Giants running their quick offense here, getting easy yardage. They're not doing anything special, just taking what we're giving them. We really need a rush up front. Fortunately, gets there just too soon, and Hamilton's going to slide, avoiding the hit. And they are going to take their first timeout in the fourth quarter here. And in about a minute and a half, the Giants have worked their way all the way down to the 20-yard line. Hamilton felt that pressure. He honestly should have kept on running because we whiffed on that tackle, but they'll take their second timeout. Only one left, but they're only 7 yards from the end zone. Definitely a bit Yeah, and there it is, the quick underneath route, and this game's going to be tied up with only about 20 seconds left. Huge claps by the defense. And as Vikings fans, we've seen that way too much, where the game is in hand, you just have to make a couple stops and call it good, and defense lets up. It's almost like there is a Mike Zimmer curse. Whenever he is here, the Vikings defense gives up late 2-minute drill type touchdowns here, and we're only going to have 15 seconds left following that return. Luckily, we do have 3 timeouts, but the question is, are we going to be able to use them and use them for anything productive? It doesn't look like there's quite much on the outside. Thielen comes up big, about 7 seconds left. We get a huge chunk down into the opponent's territory. Huge gain there. Didn't think that was going to happen, but we will take it. Going to make a slight adjustment. Going to send Chark on the underneath slant route. Use his speed. Get down the field as much as we can. Let it drop down to 1. Take our second timeout. And let's win this with a field goal. Seems like all the excitement in this game has come down to the very end. Mike Zimmer trying to start or rejuvenate the Vikings kicking curse by taking that timeout. Of course, we've had pretty good success this year in the kicking game. Young Hoku has played very well for us. Let's see if he can continue that success here, as that is right down the middle. Your Vikings win on a last-second field goal kick, 2017, beating former head coach Mike Zimmer, sending his team to, I believe, 4-5 now on the season. Really feel like we haven't had much late game drama this year, but definitely had that here today. Passing game played pretty well. We only had 1 turnover, which isn't awful. Would like to see a little bit more rushing yards, but honestly, played pretty well. Would just like to see a bit more of it, a little bit more consistency there. But we came out here, did what we needed to do, and that was to beat these Giants, continue our winning streak, and give us the bragging rights against Mike Zimmer. And how about that to end the game? A field goal giving us the upper hand on the Giants, on head coach Mike Zimmer, formerly of the Vikings, currently of the Giants. So far, they send down to 4-5. We're up 9-1. Let's send one over to the next week, where it will be the week against the Falcons. And in this next week, we're going to have a couple things we're going to need to take care of. One of those being the 3-7 Atlanta Falcons, but also focus players for scouting. We haven't paid much attention to it this year so far, mainly just because of the way the system now works. There's really not much to look at. It's mostly a guessing game. You really can only unlock everything for one player, and then from there, it's all kind of guessing. So we'll go over a few players next week that I would like to choose as the focus player. And obviously by next week, I just mean the next video. But yeah, so we'll do that in the next episode. Also returning from injuries, Armin Watts. So our defensive tackles are all going to be coming back. So that'll be good there. And yeah, we're going to need to continue our streak here. We are up 3 games in the NFC North. We're 9-1. The Packers the closest behind at 6-4. And we'll be playing them in the not the next video, but the video after that, which will be week 13 following our bye week. So if you guys are enjoying this season, enjoying some nice Viking victories, make sure you let me know down in the comments section below. You could even drop a Skol Vikings in the comments section below. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're enjoying these to continue watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.